Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sarah Brill-Morgan, naturopathic doctor, and today I have something a little bit different to talk to you all about. It's been coming up a lot in chats with patients recently, and I think it's something that's really important to kind of chat about at this point in time. And that obviously is this like a little pandemic burnout I think that a lot of people are experiencing. So I feel like, in terms of the amount of time that this has been going on now, a lot of places are kind of in a second wave, feeling the impacts of that. I have noticed it quite significantly with patients. I think, kind of noticing this September, October trend has been a big thing. And I want to just kind of let you guys know overall kind of how people are feeling. And then that tends to help, kind of feel that you're not alone when you're not going crazy. We're all in this together, but then at the same time that there is support for you. And there is things that we can do to really kind of support you with everyone going through this, right? So the biggest things that I've been seeing recently are, a lot more like lack of motivation, just kind of feeling like lethargic, feeling kind of, a little bit down, but not really down, more just like that unmotivated, feeling really tired, not really having a lot of drive, feeling maybe a little bit more anxiety than you normally would, or feeling anxiety that you normally wouldn't. And that tends to be a whole other, thing in itself. So definitely in people that, we're experiencing anxiety or we're experiencing like lower mood in general, I think that has been definitely impacted and raised up in terms of a different level. But also I'm seeing it a lot, and I think this is the thing that people are really struggling with, that didn't have issues or didn't have a lot of anxiety as their norm, or didn't have like lower mood or lower motivation, that kind of that apathy feeling in the past, and they're now starting to feel that and like really kind of unsure about what that is, what's going on, like why am I feeling so unmotivated, why am I so tired, what is happening, right? And so I kind of wanted to do a little bit of something different today and kind of have more of like a public service announcement to say, hey, like this is something that a lot of people are feeling, especially if it isn't something that you're normally feeling and you're really kind of in tune with yourself, saying, what is going on? What is happening? It is something that, over months and months and months and months of kind of stress, uncertainty, all of these things happening that we don't normally have to deal with, right? And even if you're not feeling stressed yourself, you're like, oh, this isn't impacting me, which, there are some people that are like, oh, yeah, it's totally fine. Like, it hasn't really impacted my life. It hasn't really impacted much going on with me. It's still impactful, right? We still know people that's impacted, whether it's, they're sick or, their business is impacted or that sort of thing. But even if you don't know anyone, it's still impactful. There's still a lot of stress out there. And I think that does impact us. And it's sometimes hard to see that that is impactful. But having these feelings of, lack of motivation, fatigue, higher anxiety, lower mood, feeling like you need to sleep more, having troubles with sleep, more irritability, and even I've been seeing a lot of issues with hormones. So, stress and cortisol levels will impact our hormones, and that is something that I've been seeing a lot of lately as well, just like really weird hormones. I've seen it more in women because that tends to be more of my practice, but in men as well. But definitely like weird periods, more hot flashes, more issues in terms of just hormonal things in general. So just for people to know that it's not necessarily normal, but it is the trend that we're seeing. It is something that is going on in mass amounts of people. And so just to know that you're not alone in that. But also I think it's so important to know that there is support, right? There is support, and really kind of targeting self-care can be so important for this. And I've been talking to my patients a lot about this lately because a certain level of self-care, even if you're really on top of your game in terms of self-care, it might be something that you need to up. It might be something that we just need more of right now. And even if you're like, there's no reason for that, there really is, right? We're in the middle of a global pandemic. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of, other stuff. So I think that's been the biggest key for people in terms of really just upping that self-care game can be really, really important. And then if you are struggling from anything hormonal, changes in hormones, if you feel like I'm just like really tired, I don't understand what's going on, I'm feeling really unmotivated, I can't exercise, I'm having a really hard time even motivating myself for that, which I totally understand, then you know that there is support that we can provide right now. And I think this is going to be the most important time, really is now, as we go into the fall and as we get into the cooler weather, it's rainy, it's gross, really to provide yourself to kind of set yourself up for success moving into the winter and not really knowing what's going to be happening at that point in time. So if you are experiencing that, please let us know and share with the group, because I think it is really, really important that, people know that they're not alone, that they're not the only one feeling this way, that it is, not necessarily normal, but it is, something that a lot of people are experiencing. I would say majority of people, like 95% of my patients right now, for sure. And I think even just like general people that I'm talking to, family, friends, that sort of thing, this is a really common occurrence. And I think it is really, really important to know, like, there is support out there, and this might be the time to actually seek that support and actually make yourself a little bit more of a priority, because it doesn't seem to be like something that's going to go away anytime soon, unfortunately. So just know that there is support out there, that self-care is going to be so, so important, and that you're not alone. Okay? Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Bye, guys.